Yo, what's going on everyone out there, viewers of the Tube Land? It's your boy back in action, The Message, once again, and this time today we have a brand new special episode. Today I'm doing the very first scene showcase of the Industrialized Alchemy mod. That's right, and this is a fresh mod made by yours truly, The Message. This is my first mod, and I'm gonna try and do my best to cover everything. Let's go through it together. Alright, welcome folks. Let's take you through the process, right? Where shall we begin? Because the quest is here for the Philosopher's Stone. That's right. Now, in order to get the stone, we're going to have to go through a few different processes and procedures. We're also going to have to make a few different contraptions and devices. We're also going to have to get into some energy and all that sort of stuff. So let's see, where do we begin? Well, I would say the first thing you need in order to even make the Philosopher's Stone is a glass retort. Now if we take a step over here to the laboratory, we're gonna work a little backwards here, but basically this is what you're gonna be using to make the refined essence, because that's the very first step, is to make the glass retort, which the recipe for that is right here. You're gonna need borosilicate glass and a glass pipe, and we'll show you how to make the borosilicate glass soon. But basically then what you will need is biofluid. Here we have the fluid tanks in the mod. We have a few different kinds of fluids here: the sulfuric acid, the distilled water, we got the refined essence, the bioessence, and the biofluid. So if you put some biofluid into this glass retort and on top of a soul campfire, you are going to produce bioessence, and you will get this bioash as a byproduct. Now you don't want to do anything with that, it's pretty nasty stuff. The next thing that's going to happen is you're going to pour that bioessence into another glass retort on top of a soul torch, and that's going to produce for you some refined essence right here. And this refined essence you can even get. You're also going to see the byproduct here is the biominerals, and what you're going to have to do is actually break this retort, and that's how you're going to get these biominerals. But you don't want to keep them in your offhand too long because they do kind of hurt and cause damage. And so with this setup, you can produce as much bioessence and refined essence as you'd like. The next step in the process is to make a Florence flask. And that's what this is right here. I forgot to do a barrel for the recipe, but here it is, the Florence flask. You're going to need some more borosilicate glass. And once you have that, you're also going to need to make a water bath, because this is how you control the temperature for the Florence flask. And the way you make this water bath is with the magma block, 4 iron plates, 2 repeaters, a light blue dye, and a tank frame. So once you've got your biominerals, you're going to throw that into this Florence flask along with your bottle of refined essence, and that will start producing a chain of reactions here in order to get the last item, the Philosopher's Stone. You're going to go through a refined combination, you're going to go through a crow, a rainbow, a dove, and finally the stone. And these operations each take quite a bit of time. Alright, so once you've built your water bath, you're going to want to right click it with a water bucket, then set your Florence flask on top. Make sure the redstone is turned on and you'll see the green light appear, and you'll see the Florence flask is heated. Now you can go ahead, put the refined essence in there, put your biominerals in there, and there you're going to see, you're going to hear the reaction taking place. Now this will take a while. You're going to see some progress flash here and there. It does go away, and that's okay. It's still going. Don't freak out about it. It's all good. It's going to do its thing. And so you're going to have to repeat this process a few times until you finally get your last Philosopher's Stone. So once you get that Philosopher's Stone, you can actually go ahead and take your hammer now and use this in a crafting table or in your quick craft, and you're going to get some projection powder. And you're going to see that's going to damage the stone a bit, so you only have a few uses out of this until you're going to have to make another one. Although you can get a lot, you can get like a stack at a time, you know. Oh, and that ate up the hammer, so you know it's going to take a lot of hammers. You can also just shift and right click on the grindstone, and that's going to get you more projection powder. And this is the powder you're going to use to transmutate your metals, so we can show you how that works. But if we take a look inside here, there it is, the refined combination. And that is the procedure you're going to have to repeat in order to get to the last one. Now, what I forgot to mention was that you need to have forceps in order to extract the refined combination, because clicking will not work. So you need to right click with the forceps, and that will extract the items from the Florence flask and give you your result. The recipe for the forceps is here: 2 iron ingots, 2 iron bars, and 1 shears. So let's take a step outside and go and transmutate some metals now. Here we have our metals, and this is going to go in a chain of productions and reactions. So if you have, let's say, a block of nickel, which is just lots of nickel ingots spread out, you put some projection powder on here, and look at that, you're gonna get a copper ingot. So you can turn all these blocks of nickel into copper ingots just like that. You can also turn the nickel ingots into copper ingots. Alright, so you have choices here, but you'll probably get more bang for your buck going for the blocks. And so this will be going on down the line. Here you can turn the block of lead into iron. You can turn blocks of iron into silver. And you can turn blocks of silver into gold. That's right, and you can't turn gold into anything better than gold. That's as high as you can go. So all these ores have a natural spawning variant. They replace stone and diorite and granite and all that sort of stuff, and you can find them easily. Here we have some functional utilities, such as the transport pipe. It's kind of expensive, 2 hoppers in the chest, but you do get 6 of them. And what this does is simply transport any items here. You can see I threw a stack in there, and the item hopper will put it directly into the transport pipe inventory, and you're gonna get the items here. So just a simple utility if you want to have some pipes laying around, because it does get industrialized when you're producing all the steps necessary in order to get the stone. So let's begin, shall we? Alright guys, here we have the waste heat boiler. This machine is very crucial for the production of the sulfur trioxide. That's right, all you gotta do is feed it some blocks of sulfur. So if we right click it here with a bucket of lava, you'll see it's being heated there. And we're gonna grab some sulfur here and just toss that right into the feed slot right here. Why not, you know? We'll see it starts feeding right in, and there you go. You hear them cooking up and that waste heat boil action. Now it's probably not going to smell too great, as a matter of fact, but there you go. You have your sulfur trioxide being processed. Now only thing is, you don't want to put a hopper under this, because it's going to try to pull the lava and then it's going to start freaking out on you. So here is the crafting recipe for the waste heat boiler. It is 1 superheater, 1 steam drum, and 1 deaerator surrounded by carbon steel plates. And the steam drum is a bucket surrounded by 4 carbon steel plates. And the superheater is 1 gunpowder, 2 flint, 1 flint and steel, 2 pieces of sulfur, 1 lava bucket, and 2 iron bars. And that is all the components necessary to make the waste heat boiler. So he's going to run out of fuel pretty soon. What you're going to want to do is hook up a glass pipe and a tank and just start pouring some lava buckets up in there, and you're going to see he's got plenty of fuel to cook the rest up for you. This item right here, sulfur trioxide, if we take it down to just any old regular water, we throw some of that in there, and boom, you got sulfuric acid. So yeah, you want to be careful with this stuff because it does cause damage. You know, you can't just go swimming in sulfuric acid. But that's one thing to note. While we're here, I can show you that if you throw some dirt into some bioessence and you wait a good amount of time, it will convert into a different block, as well as in biofluid. Oops, excuse me. Oh, you heard that sound of the conversion there, but there it is. Gonna throw some dirt into some biofluid. See what happens here is you got some soul soil, and same thing for sand. I don't have any right now for some reason, but throw some sand in there and you get some soul sand. And here we got some grass from throwing some dirt into some biofluid. So there are chemical reactions taking place here. So back to where we were here, right? Now you can make a whole lot of lava for your waste heat boiler with the induction furnace, which is going to be the recipe here. Some cracked stones, a refractory lining, a bucket, and an andesite slab. The refractory lining is here, just some iron bars and some bricks, and you cook that in a furnace, you will get the refractory lining. And with this, you can put some lava in there. And so you throw some lava in there like that. and you can see the lava is in there. You will need some igneous rock now, some either basalt, some smooth basalt polished, or magma blocks, and you throw some of that into there. Boom, he's gonna start cooking, and he's gonna start producing lava for you. Just right there, you can start collecting it right in the tank. So on to some more fluids here. We have the making of the biofluid, which is going to be made with either a block of apples, a block of beetroot, or a block of melon. Now these blocks of apples are simple to make. They are just 9 apples in the crafting table. Okay, and you get you a block of apples. So we take our block, and you can throw these blocks of apples here into our blender, and he is redstone powered right now, so you see the green button. And yeah, he's kind of loud, so you want to back up a bit, but basically the blender recipe is right here. 2 tank frames, some iron plates, 2 electric coils, and a rotary blade. Now if you don't have what it takes to make that just yet, you can make the fluid press, which works in a very similar manner. Same 3 blocks. Now here's the recipe for the fluid press. 1 hopper, 1 iron mesh, tank frame, and some andesite, and you will get the fluid press. With this, it's basically the same concept, except you just right click the block of choice, and what you're gonna need now is an anvil, and you want to throw an anvil up here. Boom, and he's gonna squish that block of beetroot into some more biofluid for you, and that's when you kind of rinse and repeat. And it doesn't stop there, guys. You still got to work with more fluids, right? Because if instead of just throwing a bunch of sulfur trioxide into water all the time, you can make an industrial acid vat. And here's the recipe: 3 tank frames and 6 iron plates. Now with this industrial acid vat, you can put water into here and some sulfur trioxide into here, and he's gonna start producing sulfuric acid for you automatically. There he goes. And if you didn't know, you can put these glass pipes under a water source, and that's going to give you basically infinite water here for your fluid tank. And there he goes. You got another bucket of sulfuric acid. Now the level of the tanks can be seen by crouching, but I still have to move the GUI placement sort of. So onto some more machines and contraptions. Now here we have the industrial plate press. With this, you can take any metal and throw some in here. Now his only thing is the biggest stack size is 8, and you hit the switch, boom, and he's gonna produce you these 8 iron plates. Same thing with the carbon steel and the nickel. And here's the recipe: 2 andesite walls on each side, a polished andesite slab, 1 block of carbon steel, an anvil, and 2 carbon steel plates. There you have your plate press. Now here we have the extrusion machines. These are useful for making copper wire out of copper. You just throw some copper in here, you flip the switch, and he's gonna start punching that into some copper wire. Here is the recipe for the extrusion machine. You need 1 iron plate, 2 blocks, 2 pistons, 1 comparator, and a hopper. And boom, there you have some 2 copper wires. This machine also turns silicon into a monocrystalline cell for your solar panels, as well as magma block into blaze rod. So we'll see that in action here. Monocrystalline cell, and this is used for making your solar panels. And here you go, blaze rod out of the magma block. Alright guys, so this is the electric resistance heating furnace, and it's going to require at least 3 redstone repeaters on each side powered by redstone. And so we're gonna import now some carbon dust, some redstone at the bottom, and some silica up here. To flip the switch, and you can see he's turned on there. He's gonna start heating up, and this is how we're gonna produce our silica carbide ingots. Alright, here we have the infusion furnace, and the recipe for that is 1 silica carbide heating element, as well as 2 K-type thermocoups, 1 blast furnace, and 5 carbon steel plates. With this machine, you can create boron trioxide by supplying it lava, sulfuric acid, and borax blocks. So if we take a bucket of sulfuric acid, and we can feed it directly via tank in here, as well as some lava, boom, he's going to start cooking up the boron trioxide. And yeah, he's got the little sound to him. Now the recipes for the silica carbide heating element is right here, as well as the K-type thermocool. Alright, and next up we have here the tempering furnace. Here is the recipe for the tempering furnace. You are going to need 2 superheaters, 1 blast furnace, a purple dye, 2 carbon steel plates, 2 blocks of carbon steel, and 1 tank frame. And with this, it is very essential for making the borosilicate glass. All you do is feed it some lava and put some sand and boron trioxide that you get from here. And that's going to produce the glass that you need to make the retorts that you need to make the stone. Last here on the list we have the industrial grinder. Now this machine does require energy that it can get from the solar panel, either the 20 watt or the 80 watt, except the 80 watt will run the machine. The 20 watts you will need a couple of them. Here is the crafting recipe. You'll need 2 rotary blades, a grindstone, 2 blocks of iron, and an electric coil that will produce the industrial grinder. With this machine you can take any ores, throw them in here, and they will start producing 2 dust, and you can double your output. Now he is going to suck energy because it is nighttime, so we don't have any solar, so he'll only do like 1 operation, so he does need a lot of energy, guys. And boom, there you go, another 2 iron dust, and he'll do this with all of the ore variants available to you. Now if you want to make some solar panels, what you'll need to do is first get silica dust. One way to do that is to use this iron sieve here. The recipe for that is right here. Some iron plates and 1 iron mesh. The iron mesh is just 9 iron bars. And then what you do is you take your sand and you put 1 in there. Take an empty hand, click a few times, and he'll pour some silica dust and some dirt in here. So you can kind of do this manually for a while. Or you can make the industrial centrifugal separator. The recipe for that is right here. You'll need an electric coil, rotary blade, 4 iron plates, and a separation chamber. For the separation chamber, you'll need a centrifugal filter, as well as the steam drum, and 3 iron plates. For the centrifugal filter, you will need 1 carbon steel plate, 4 iron plates, and 4 iron meshes. And with this device, what you can do is feed it sand and a redstone signal, and he's gonna start centrifugally separating that sand into silica and dirt for you. Now you can also throw in some gravel here and a redstone signal, and he's going to produce iron and sand from that gravel. So here's a way to produce iron to supplement your needs for all the machines. They're all very noisy, so I'm going to turn them off right now. Alright, so you take that silica dust and you cook that in a furnace, you will get silica. You take that silica and you cook it in a furnace, you will get nether quartz. Or you take that silica and you cook it in a blast furnace and you get silicon. And so this silicon, you take it through the extrusion machine, and that is how you get the monocrystalline cell. So the solar panel 20 watt recipe is right here. You'll need 3 of these monocrystalline cells, which are right here, which is 3 monocrystalline cells, 2 silver ingots, and a redstone. And if you want the solar panel 80 watt, the recipe is right here. You will need 3 polycrystalline solar cells, 2 electric coils, a carbon steel, and 3 glass panes. And the polycrystalline solar cell is 2 lapis dust, 1 silver dust, 2 silver, 1 redstone, and same 3 monocrystalline cells. These dusts you can get by hammering lapis lazuli or hammering silver into silver dust. Let's take a step back now to the laboratory here. So here are the fluid tanks, and here is the crafting recipe for the fluid tanks. 3 buckets, a tank frame, 1 blue dye, and 4 glass panes. And here is the tank frame recipe, 1 bucket and 8 iron bars. And these tanks work with these glass pipes, which extract and send fluids in a downward direction or a sideways direction. The recipe for the glass pipe is right here. 3 glass panes on top and bottom and 2 buckets. And in order to configure these pipes, you will need a monkey wrench. The recipe for the monkey wrench is here. 3 iron ingots, 2 heavy pressure plates, and a purple dye. And with this monkey wrench, you can right click and rotate the pipes as well as most blocks in the game. Let's see, what else? Yes, you can rotate even the glass retorts with this. Sort of a little bit. So here we have this glass retort making distilled water. All you do is right click with a water bucket and make sure you got a soul campfire there, and he's gonna start cooking up some distilled water for you very soon, as well as produce a byproduct which is going to be salt, and that salt is essential for making the ormus here, which takes a process through the mason jars, which we'll show you right now. Alright, there's our water and here's our salt. Now in order to get the salt out, you can break the retort and that will produce the salt. So once you have the salt and your distilled water, now you just take your distilled water and you make a mason jar. So here's the recipe for the mason jar: 1 iron plate and 7 glass panes. So with your distilled water bucket, you're gonna right click the mason jar and you're gonna throw the salt in there with another right click, and you'll just wait just a little bit and he's gonna change color here. He has to kind of settle up a little bit, you know. You can kind of shake the jar a little bit if you want. There he goes. He changed the water color now because he's got salty water. Now what you're gonna need to do is put washing soda into this jar, and the way you get washing soda is by finding trona ore naturally in the world, and you get the trona item, which you can use with a hammer, and that will produce soda ash. This soda ash, you must cook it in the furnace, and that will produce baking soda. That baking soda, you then cook that further in the furnace and you will get the washing soda. So with that washing soda, you right click on the jar and you will see it changes colors once again. He's washing. You're gonna have to wait a little bit more time, and he should result with a layer of sediment down at the bottom and separated water at the top. What you will then need is a turkey baster. With this turkey baster, what you can do is siphon the water off of the top once he's done, and you're gonna be left with the residue at the bottom. So he takes a little bit. So there he goes. You can right click it and you have now a full turkey baster, and you have to drain the water out of this, so you right click on a sink drain here. The recipe for the sink drain is here: 1 bucket, 2 stone on each side, and 1 glass pipe. So after you've right clicked and you've got an empty turkey baster, you can go ahead and throw another distilled water bucket right click onto that residue in order to fully wash the solution. And then you're gonna have to wait a bit more time until he finally is left with a just white layer of sediment. You're then gonna want to right click that with a turkey baster again, and you'll be left with ormus. Once you right click this jar, here it is, you have the ormus, the M state minerals. So after you've made your ormus, what you can then make with that is the mana cake, and the ingredients for this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ormus and 1 bucket of distilled water, and you will get 1 mana cake. Now if you can produce enough ormus to produce a supply of these, well, we'll see what happens just then. So let's just hop in a nice pool of sulfuric acid for a hot second, and then what we can do is take a bite of our mana cake. Whoa, 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 what's going on, guys? What's this? Oh my gosh, so many glowing effects. Okay. Oh boy. So if you can just produce enough ormus cakes, you can basically just fly around and float around just like this. Levitation station, my guy. Alright, not bad. And then you got the slow falling a little bit later to help you cool your way back down. Easy. Here is an array of the different and new brewing recipes added by the Industrial Alchemy mod. 1 carbon dust and any potion will give you an ink sac. 1 sulfur trioxide, any potion will give you a potion of poison. 1 boron trioxide and any mundane potion will give you a potion of weakness. 1 bio ash and any potion will give you a potion of harming. 1 biomineral and any potion will give you silica. Then we have gunpowder with refined essence will give you a gas tier. Ink sac with refined essence will give you a glow ink sac, and ormus with refined essence will give you the unknown. And so just what is this unknown? Well, let's see. What is this unknown? Ormus and refined essence equals unknown. Okay. Oh no, I just right clicked it, man. What was that sound? Wait, whoa. What? Where am I? What? Hey, what's going on? What? What is this? Hey, stop! Hey, no, stop it! What? Hey, back up! Hey, whoa, stop it! Whoa, where'd he go? Oh my god!